Hey everybody, Libby Albert here. Wanted to hop on and do a little bit of a follow-up to my WalkAway video that was posted back in June, which is crazy to think it's only been probably about 8 months. But for those who don't know, I am the executive director of the WalkAway Foundation, which is essentially the arm of the campaign that is a nonprofit organization. And so I am in charge of essentially creating or executing, I should say, on the vision that Brandon has. And of course, managing all of our functions and providing leadership. So this is really a dream come true. And that's kind of the story that I want to share with you guys, because I already posted an original WalkAway video, so you guys can all go back and take a look at that and understand my reasons for walking away. But I thought I would share how life-changing this entire thing has really been for me. So to kind of start from the beginning, I joined the campaign in about June, I think it was around June 14th, which is when I submitted my WalkAway video. There were only about 14 or 1500 members, I think, at the time. I had no expectations whatsoever, but that night, the night that I posted my video, Brandon did a live stream, and he played my video in that live stream and then provided commentary throughout the entire thing. And I was shocked. I mean, we're all a little starstruck by Brandon anyway, but that's exactly how I felt in that moment. And I was so honored that he would take the time to sort of highlight my story. And he also was just so moved by it. And I was touched by that, because I honestly didn't think that it was anything special. And I wasn't even sure that I wasn't alone at that moment. But the outreach and the outpouring of support from all of the members in the group, I mean, it just catapulted, everything for me. And it was such a huge, such a monumental shift in my life at that moment. But during that video, Brandon told me to reach out to him if I was watching. And so I did. And essentially I just thanked him for, providing a platform and making my story seem important. And that was really how it all started. And Brandon and I struck up a friendship. Once the campaign started to grow, he kept getting inundated with messages from well-intended members that are telling him, you got to get some moderators. You got to get some moderators for this group. You can't do this by yourself. And so he reached out to me and he asked if I would be interested in being a lead moderator. I said, sure. I'd never done it before, but how hard could it be? It's hard, by the way. So I did that. And there were 3 of us that were moderating at the time. And the campaign had steady growth. And I think it was around maybe 10 or 20,000 members that Brandon made his first appearance on Tucker, and things exploded. I mean, utter chaos. We had 1,500 testimonials in the queue at all times waiting to be viewed and posted. It was insane. I mean, absolutely insane. But that's also the moment that I realized that this thing has legs. It's more than a social media movement. It's more than a hashtag. It's a life-changing event for a lot of people, and we are not alone. Membership skyrocketed to like 100,000. Immediately. And Brandon and I, of course, have been keeping in touch the entire time, but we had sort of a meeting of the minds at one point, and we both expressed the same thing, that this is not just a social media movement, and that, we really felt like we could grow it and turn it into an organization. And so I asked him if he would allow me to go ahead and start building out some of the infrastructure that would be necessary to become an organization. And he agreed, which is, again, insane, because we had known each other for maybe a month. There's absolutely no reason that he should have trusted me with his baby. And I probably shouldn't have trusted him either, because, I just didn't know him that well. But thank God we did trust each other, because now we're at this point. And that kind of continued. I started to, of course, with the help of all of our volunteers. None of this is something I did myself. But with the help of our volunteers, we started building out departments, marketing, moderation, HR, to help us bring on new volunteers all the time. I mean, we always have a need for volunteers. And we slowly began to build, the infrastructure necessary to run things smoothly as an organization. We had the March, which was another crowning achievement, I think. We raised a lot of money to put that on. It was such an amazing event. If you weren't able to attend, I'm so sorry, but we should have some events coming up soon that we'd love to have you at. After the March, things settled down a little bit, but then we went into the holidays. By the time, it was maybe the end of December, I got a call out of the blue from Brandon, and he said, "We want to hire you as the executive director." I cried. Just, truth be told, I cried, because whoever could imagine that you could do something that you're so passionate about while making and earning a living. I was just, I was dumbfounded. I felt like it was too good to be true, but we made it happen, and I started as the full-time executive director of the WalkAway Foundation on February 11th. And so here we are today, speaking to you. I wanted to kind of fill you in on that story because I think it's such a Cinderella story in many ways, and it's inspiring. And it shows, that the tenets that we really hold dear in this campaign and in the foundation, that, hard work pays off, individualism and accountability, those are really, really important things to us. And, it does pay off. Hard work does pay off. So now we are kicking into gear for 2019, which is, I'm sure I don't have to tell you, is a huge deal going into the 2020 election season. So we've got a ton of events planned coming up, including, and Brandon has mentioned this before, so I'm not talking out of school, but we've got some theater screenings. We want to do exclusive theater screenings for really anyone in the community to come in and watch our documentary movie, The Great Awakening, Breaking the Chains of the Democratic Party. We'll have like a Q&A panel session afterward just to really discuss about our voting behaviors and whether or not this is really in our best interest in terms of Democrats, people that are continuing to vote Democrats, even when it's voting against their interests. We've got some other events coming up, like the anniversary gala. We want to have an anniversary gala. More details to come on that, but it's supposed to be a huge event that you will not want to miss. We're going to be doing an LA film festival, red carpet event as well, which is guaranteed to be amazing. We're working on a charity golf tournament. We're working on the WalkAway Road Show, which is a bit of a variety show with some of your favorite speakers and performers. There's so much to accomplish and so many ways to spread our word that we are really just putting our heads down and making this happen. However, none of it is possible without any of you. All of our success, and I sincerely mean that, all of our success is because of all of you. We have been able to do nothing without you. We rely on your support. We rely on your donations. It is amazing what we have accomplished, and you should all pat yourselves on the back because you are the ones that made it happen. And we don't take that for granted. We don't. We love you for it. If you can continue to help us and support us, we would be forever grateful because these big events are not cheap. We want to make them as cheap for the communities as possible, but it's a lot of expense, a whole lot of expense. So if you can find it in your hearts, please go over to give.classy.org/walkaway. and make a donation. This is a new platform that we're using rather than GoFundMe. You're able to make a one-time donation or a recurring donation, totally up to you. We are grateful either way. I look forward to doing more videos with you and just kind of giving you some business check-ins. We really pride ourselves on being as transparent as possible. And so I want to make sure that all of you are informed about what we're doing within the foundation. And of course, you can feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions at all. Have a great day, Patriots. We love you.